Some graduating classes are a little more enlightening than others.
Do you really think it's gonna change anything around here? Make one single person smarter, or happier, or nicer?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 memorable school speeches in movies.
Thank you very much, thank you.
For this list, we're choosing those movie moments that graced us with the most inspiring, the most ridiculous, or the most entertaining speeches from some of our favorite or not-so-favorite films.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, guys. We've made a great effort so far. Let's just keep it up.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure!
Public speaking can be stressful, and listening to speeches can be a bore. But throw a little Hollywood into the mix, and you're bound to hear some gems.
But guess what? Oh no, the man ruined that too with a little thing called MTV!
Number 10, The Man, School of Rock.
My parents don't spend $15,000 a year for recess.
What, you want to learn something?
Yes, I do.
What happens when a musician with no band and no prospects takes up substitute teaching in disguise as his roommate?
All right, here's a useful lesson for you. Give up. Just quit. Because in this life, you can't win. Yeah, you can try. But in the end, you're just gonna lose big time because the world is run by the man.
After his deceit proves effective, this wild child rocker is left to shape the minds of the future.
And the man ruined the ozone, and he's burning down the Amazon, and he kidnapped Shamu and put her in a chlorine tank, okay? And there used to be a way to stick it to the man. It was called rock and roll.
So it'd make sense that he'd launch into a lengthy diatribe about the man and subversion. After all, what's rock and roll without a little rebellion and bitterness?
So don't waste your time trying to make anything cool or pure or awesome, because the man's just gonna call you a fat, washed-up loser and crush your soul. So do yourselves a favor and just give up! Oh.
Number 9, Debate Smackdown, Old School.
Sorry, we're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! Come on, Snoop! Snoop-a-loop! Snoop! Stay! No, it's cool, it's cool.
When a bunch of middle-aged man children decide to start a fraternity at a college they don't attend, they find themselves having to overcome a gauntlet of obstacles to keep their frat house. One of these obstacles is a debate.
What is your position on the role of government in supporting innovation in the field of biotechnology?
When James Carville saunters onto the stage, it's all but assumed that the competition is a wrap.
Well, Dean, I'm glad that you asked that
Actually,
question.
I'd like to jump in and take that one, Jimmy, if you don't mind.
At least, that was the goal. But the political commentator and his team grossly underestimated Frank the Tank and his blackout abilities.
As a world leader, it's important for America to provide systematic research grants for our scientists. I believe strongly there will always be a need for us to have a well-articulated innovation policy with emphasis on human resource development. Thank you.
The final candidate for Student Council President is another one of the Metzler clan, sophomore Tammy Metzler. Tammy.
Number 8, Who Cares? Election.
Since I grew up without a dad, you might assume psychologically I was looking for a father figure. But that had nothing to do with it at all. It was just that Dave was so strong, and he made me feel so safe and protected.
There were just so many scandals at this school, it's a wonder anyone even cared about a little student body election.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, I'll bring the veil, you bring the groove.
Oh, and here I am on KCHS, our student-run TV station.
The littering must stop. Tracy Flick reporting.
The irritatingly overachieving Tracy Flick is running for school president, but she's up against the machinations of a teacher who secretly hates her, a popular jock, and his disgruntled sibling.
Who cares about this stupid election?
And it's that disgruntled sibling who manages to deliver an anti-speech for the history books, much to almost everyone's delight.
So vote for me, because I don't even want to go to college, and I don't care. And as president, I won't do anything. The only promise I will make is that, if elected, I will immediately dismantle the student government so that none of us will ever have to sit through one of these stupid assemblies again.
Number 7. There's more to music than notes on a page, Mr. Holland's opus.
I'm the only one in my family who's... I just can't...
After having a close encounter with aliens and battling a bloodthirsty shark, Richard Dreyfuss took on the role of a beloved music teacher who never quite lived out his dream.
That's right, because playing music is supposed to be fun.
Once the composer-musician turned to teaching the art instead of only writing it, Glenn Holland manages to connect with his students on an inspirational level.
It's about heart. It's about feelings and moving people and something beautiful and being alive, and it's not about notes on a page. I could teach you notes on a page. I can't teach you that other stuff.
Brusque but encouraging, he delivers a speech to one of his students that reinforces her self-confidence and keeps her motivated.
And this time, no music.
Oh, what?
Because you already know it. It's already in your head and your fingers and your heart. You just don't trust yourself to know that.
Number 6, Carpe Diem, Dead Poets Society.
Today we're going to be talking about William Shakespeare.
Oh, God.
I know. A lot of you look forward to this about as much as you look forward to root canal work. We're going to talk about Shakespeare as someone who writes something very interesting.
Robin Williams has an innate teddy bearness that makes him fun and endearing when he's being silly, but also fuzzy and reassuring when he takes on the serious stuff.
Why do I stand up here? Anybody?
To feel taller.
No. Thank you for playing, Mr. Dalton. I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way.
In Dead Poets Society, he plays an elite prep school teacher who employs some rather unconventional methods to stir up his students.
Just when you think you know something, you have to look at it in another way. Even though it may seem silly or wrong, you must try.
That includes this rousing speech, which sows the seeds of yuppie insurgence and self-realization, and finds a spot on our list.
Boys, you must strive to find your own voice. Because the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Thoreau said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Don't be resigned to that.
Number 5, Never Give Up, Crazy Stupid Love.
There is no such thing as one true
Stop!
love.
As far as romantic comedies go, this one is a little bit of midlife crisis mixed with a coming-of-age story and a dash of Ryan Gosling doing what he does best, being dreamy.
My son's graduation speech sucks.
Steve Carell plays a man devastated by his wife's infidelity.
And it's easy to just look at a 13-year-old and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You are wrong. But I'm not so sure.
But when his young son gives a school speech in the midst of his own heartbreak, he steps in to course correct.
But I can promise you this. I will never stop trying. Because when you find the one, you never give up.
I'm not a teacher. I'm the new basketball coach.
Number 4, our deepest fear, Coach Carter.
Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
Audiences may have grown accustomed to seeing Samuel L. Jackson giving audibly aggressive speeches prior to fighting off snakes or being eaten by genetically engineered sharks. But this time, he was on the receiving end of one.
Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone.
In this sports drama, Jackson plays a coach committed to ensuring his basketball team receives a sound education.
There will be no basketball, ma'am. That includes practices and games until we as a team reach the agreed upon GPA.
After losing a school board ruling against one of his coaching decisions, his team rallies around him in a collective show of support.
Our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved